All right, all right, all right.
All right.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Free Lads in the Beautiful Game, or should we say the Corrupt Game. I am your host, and I'm a bit, I'm a,
host.
yeah. Thank you. I was trying to think of something, and you did it. But look, this is an emergency stream. We have a lot to talk about. We got Joey over here fuming. He hasn't stopped since like 5 a.m. in our message group chat, like non-stop reply. So we had to get this pod out we're trying to get a live stream going, but my old head couldn't set it up. So you're gonna get a pod to suffice. But look, Joey, you have a lot to say, my friend. Take it away. We'll get with your game. I know your game was the last game, but we'll just go straight into it because we could probably have a whole show just talking about your game, to be honest, but we'll get straight into it. Let's go.
Oh, just absolute shambles from the referee. Just early on.
You're speechless. We're left speechless.
Like, there's just so many moments in the game that I can't.
All right, well, I'll give you
start with one, to be honest.
Well, we'll start off with we'll get into the game. We'll start from the actual game. We'll get into it. So from because I watched most of the game. I'm pretty sure I watched most of the game. And from what I've seen, so the first half, I'll be honest, Spurs were playing pretty good, right? And you were handling them, but Spurs were playing they were playing the way that we thought they were going to play, especially at home. And admittedly, they got their goal deservedly, whatever. In the I think it was around the 25th, 30th minute, I believe they got their goal. But either way, they get their goal, and then the big controversy happens. Well, the first big controversy happens. Was the straight red for Curtis Jones, I believe.
Yeah. Oh.
What? So yeah, please take it away. What did you believe that was?
So I believe that was a red card. Certainly not. Definitely not. Gets the ball. You can see he traps the ball and his foot rolls off the ball. And almost rolls his ankle on the ball.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it lands on the leg of the player. There's no even intention to even get the player, let alone stamp the player, let alone touch the player. He's gets the ball. His foot rolls. Maybe because the player gets the ball as well, so they're both winning the ball at the same time.
Yeah, because they're both going for it.
There's no malice. There's no intent at all in a big game like that to just send a player off for that. And it's not the first time this year it's happened to us. In a big game, you know what I mean. It just seems like they're so quick to just off. And if you look what the images you said you watched the game, so. If you see the images that they're showing the referee and the angle they're showing the referee, they're showing a behind the goals angle.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Originally, it was a yellow card. From memory, it was
in my opinion, right? They go on about this clear and obvious error. Clear and obvious error, right? He said a yellow card, so now you're telling me that's a clear and obvious error. To the point of so many other things that have happened this year, and they've said, "Oh, it wasn't a clear and obvious error. We couldn't intervene." So, but you're telling me then you can just say, "Yeah, actually, stop the game. Go look at this. We think you've made a big mistake here by giving them a yellow." So, first off, the VAR have said the refs made a mistake there. That's a red.
So we also skipped over the Diaz goal, but we'll get into that. But yeah, sorry.
Yeah. Just ridiculous.
From what I saw, right? From what I saw, look, initial play, I thought, okay, yeah, both players just went for a 50-50 challenge. You know what I mean? It was okay, and then the way they freeze frame it and then get it, because like I said, it was the on-field decision was a yellow card, and then now they've gone and been okay, yeah, let's change it around. Let's look into it. Blah blah. Like if you're gonna freeze frame and like go for it, maybe intricate play. Of course, it's gonna look bad. You know what I mean? Like of course, it's gonna look like it's the most horrific tackle or whatever.
At the start of the game with what you were saying.
Mm.
And so we actually got Curtis Jones got sent off first.
Yeah.
Right. Then they score the goal.
Yeah.
Or was Diaz's offside goal?
I thought Diaz.
No. We got the red card. Then Diaz's offside goal.
Yeah.
Then they score.
Okay. Yes. Right? Okay. That's correct.
And this is the thing, like, you know what I mean? Like, you've intervened then when he's got the card.
Mm-hmm.
He said he's made an obvious error.
Mm-hmm.
A couple of minutes later, we score a goal with 10 men at home against Tottenham. You know, you were saying, Tottenham were playing well.
Yeah, they were at that time.
We score a goal, perfectly fine goal. They say offside. They look at it on the VAR. They don't draw lines or nothing because apparently they thought the ref said it was a goal. So they said, "Oh, we don't need to check it." And they reckon that once Tottenham, the ruling is once they have taken the free kick, the rule cannot be overturned. And I'm like, okay, well, let's go back a few years. Did Man United not get a penalty one time when the final whistle had blown, the game was over, the players were walking off the pitch, and then like, hey, no, wait a second, actually get all the players back on the pitch. Everything, we've seen something in the game that you didn't pick up, like. So you're telling me you can't do that when there's still 60 minutes of the game left, but you can call a game back that's finished. You can call players back out of the tunnels, but like, you know what I mean? Like if the VAR, they see the player kick off, even if they did misunderstand the ref, they would have said, "Oh, ref, wait a second, what's going on?"
That's the whole point of VAR, like, is to fix up those mistakes. You know what I mean?
Tottenham would have maybe made one pass, and the VAR would have said to the ref, "No, it's a Liverpool goal."
Yeah.
And then what big disadvantage is that? Like, you know what I mean? What kind of ruling is that? Never heard that ruling before either. It just seems to be funny that whenever they make a mistake, and they always have these rules, but it's release the rules before the season then. Release everything. Like I said, say how you're going to do it and do it like that. But every week they make mistakes. So, oh, yeah, we're sorry. Well, they said sorry at half time in the game, but the game's still going. They've realised they've made a mistake. Would it not just be then 2-1 Liverpool? Just like, oh, that was a goal? Nah.
Yeah. No, look, honestly, yeah, look, I don't know, like this whole season, like as we know, has been very questionable with the refs. Like there's been some really shocking calls. And honestly, this is like, I think me and Sol were talking about it off air. It's actually crazy to think that when we were watching football, when we were younger, right? Remember, there was no VAR, there was no, there was no video refs, nothing like that, right? There was no goal line technology, but the mistakes were less. Do you get what I mean? Like there was a bit of human error here and there, and it was really close calls, like those like the fine margin calls, right? And even then, you're like, you excused it, right? Because you're like, even I can't see that, so how's he gonna see that? Blah blah, whatever. But now I feel like you said, with VAR, they seem to find out they're making more mistakes, and because they're making more mistakes, they're trying to find more excuses to excuse those mistakes. Yeah. And it's actually getting to the point where it's like, yeah, football's not fun to watch anymore. Like honestly, this, bro. Like I'm like, there's points when there's close margin goals and stuff, I don't even celebrate. Right. Like because I'm like, oh.
In all honesty, if we were beat by Tottenham, fair and square, I would accept it.
We wouldn't be doing this pod.
11 against 11, 90 minutes, we would fucking... I'm convinced after seeing them even against 10 men, even against 11 men, we had a few opportunities, you know what I mean? If we had 11 men for 90 minutes, we'd have them easy.
Well, you know what the weird thing is they played actually shit.
You know what I mean? They need a Joel Matip own goal in the last couple seconds of the game, the way they carried on, they won see the crowd all jump.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw everything. Cunt took his shirt off.
Yeah, I can promise you that, Spursy. He's still Spursy.
You know, we were saying like Sol has that Kiwi propaganda against Ange.
Atrocious.
I think now you've got a propaganda against Ange now. Oh my god.
But,
look.
I just honestly, like when I was watching it, I was just with the Diaz goal. I was just, I honestly wanted to. This is like when like some bullshit call happens when you're playing FIFA and you just turn the game off. I was just like I should just stop watching this. Like, what? We're not going to win. We're not going to win. Like, that's, you know what I mean? We had a red card. That's a bullshit red card. Like an actual soft red card, especially considering a high stakes game, or they don't want to ruin games, and you know how they did say that they don't want to ruin red cards. And,
well, I'll actually give you a perfect example of what happened in our game that actually ties into what you're saying about the whole doesn't want to ruin the games about red card. So look, I'm not going to excuse our loss. We copped the L because we were shit on the day. But there was some bullshit things that happened as well, and hence why I want to, we're doing this pod, because there was a bullshit call that happened in our game as well, and actually ties into what you're saying about the red card thing. So Hyung Meng or whatever, the Korean guy, I didn't call him that. Pep called him that, so I'm not. So please don't cancel me. Cancel Pep. But yeah, actually, there's a bit of a meme going around because before the game, they were talking about they were talking about threats, and Pep was talking about Wolves threat, and he full named Neto, Cunha, and then he goes, the Korean guy.
I was like, that's pretty bad.
I was like, that was so bad. But anyway, well, anyway, back to the game. So Hyung Meng gets a yellow, similar to actually Curtis Jones. What happened with Curtis Jones? That, I believe, was a red card, in my opinion, because he did 2 silly tackles in the space of 10 minutes, whatever.
Jota.
Jota, sorry. Yeah, not Curtis Jones, my bad.
Yeah, but even the first one, bro, the first one, I don't think he makes contact with him, man. And he trips over. It's you can see there's he trips into him. He's it's not like he's actually going to get the play. He's tripped over. It's just
it's I totally get what you mean.
It's one and that you can say it's a yellow card, but then you see opposing teams, and it seems to happen every single week. Someone will go past the player, and someone will stick their hand out, and it's just a free kick for them.
Yeah,
for us. Well, but it seems when Trent done it against Gordon, everyone's going, "Oh, that should have been a red," and it's bro, that happens consistently. Players are always grabbing players, and it's just I don't know.
Well, that's what it is. I think it's right. It's a consistency thing.
We're getting punished at the highest level. And the calls we're getting, even in the Carabao Cup, there was 2 dead set penalties. But just the level of officiating, it's fucking terrible at the moment. Fucking shit.
Well, no. What I was trying to what I was saying about the Jota thing. I was trying to say with the Hyung Meng, what I meant was he did 2 actual disgusting tackles in the space of 10 minutes. But the difference was, he didn't get booked for the second one. You know what I mean? He actually full went into Kyle Walker after he already had been booked previously 10 minutes beforehand, and then didn't get a yellow. And then, you know what happened? He scored the winner for him. You know what I mean? And then we go and lose the game. I'm not going to pin that on our loss, because we're Man City. We should be good enough. We should put that game to bed, right? But we didn't at the end of the day. But the thing is, it's just, like you said, it's back to the officiating. It's more if we're going to be consistent, Hyung Meng should have been sent off, you know what I mean? And then it would have been a different game. They wouldn't have come at us they wouldn't have counterattacked the way they would have. But look, it's even Red Salt.
I'm saying in the United game, there was a
handball.
Should have been a handball.
Yep. Red Devil Soul was telling me as well, in their game they should have got a handball, but didn't get called back. Again, not as extreme as what happened in the Liverpool game, but still bullshit calls. You know what I mean? It's the consistency. They don't have it. It's not there. And it's ridiculous because the whole point of VAR was supposed to be because of...
I don't know, the thing with Jota, right? I will admit, it can be a red card, right? But it can not also, like you said, it can also very easily not be a red card, a yellow card and a warning, hey, if you do anything else, you're off.
That's what I'm saying. In a different scenario,
happen.
He could have not been sent off.
Especially considering that ref would have known full well that he made the mistake because this was after half time. So he would have already been informed at half time, hey, you got this wrong. This was a goal. And he would have had a look at that Curtis Jones challenge properly and probably gone, oh, is that a fully red? Like, you know what I mean? And then he goes back out there again and then to the highest degree holds a disciplinarian and just, you know.
Yeah, true.
Fucking, like, at the end of the day, man, like, to just them 3 calls in the one game, it's like, what, and you send him off at the end like that, you're like, fucking, bro, who have you got to bet on? Like, I'd be checking he's got a bet on somewhere, fam. I'm telling you.
Tonio, he's friends with Ivan Tonio.
He has disallowed a goal or something.
Well, my brother, like, he made a joke, like, because, like, you know, we were talking about the game as well, and he said, oh, so funny how when you lose, we lose as well. And I'm like, what do you mean, cunt? He goes, interesting. I'm like, don't blame me, blame Spurs. We didn't, like, you know, you versus Spurs, not us. But I was, you know, it was just funny that he was trying to pin it on City somehow. I was like, man, we had our own problems. Get the hell out of here. But no, it was funny. But no, look,
But look, still all in all, very proud of the team.
Well, no, look,
watching that 9 players against 11 and Spurs still not able to break us down, it just, like, I just honestly can't wait for them to come to Anfield. Obviously, barring hopefully we get some ref that just wants to be even, and hopefully we get a decent ref. That's all I can pray for. But if we get a decent ref at Anfield,
that's a bit hard. Who's a decent ref these days? I can't honestly think of one. You know what I mean? Like, that's an English ref anyway. But like, fuck me. It's just I don't know. Like, no wonder like English refs don't get invited.
I've said this for a very long time. I don't think when we get to the highest level and there's as many refs as there are in other countries, I don't believe that you should be able to ref in your country, especially not in a country like England. You're going to have preferences. If I was reffing, like, do you think I would give a 50-50 call to City or United? No, I wouldn't.
No,
like,
no.
You know what I mean? Would you?
And no, not even that, bro. Forget about, like, we're actually all rivals, but there's, like, other small rivalries as well. Like, you know how England is. There's, like, the North, South stuff. Like, for example, like, you know, there could be things like, you know, there's someone that's like someone from London that hates the North, and then vice versa.
Refs, I think, like, 30%, at least 30% of the rest are from Manchester themselves, and it's just like, as a Liverpool fan, like,
and it doesn't even have to be like inner Manchester. It could be like the Greater Manchester and stuff like that. So there's even like little intricate things like that. Like we're just saying, like there's like refs from the Midlands who hate, you know, this certain group of people. You know, they've always, you know how England is. It's so tribalism there, but. Yeah. No, honestly, that's why you don't see refs like English refs in high, like World Cup finals, Champions League like finals, semi-finals. It's always like a foreign ref, like, you know, I mean, by foreign I mean like Italian, Spanish, whatever, blah blah blah. Yeah, no, look, and you know what? Like you said, it's actually discouraging to watch because, you know, we're football fans. We love this. We're gonna watch it no matter what. And for them to ruin it like that, it's not like, yeah.
To be honest. We were all fine without your bullshit before. We didn't ask for it. No one wanted your VAR and anything. I don't think we really even wanted goal line technology, to be honest, because we all loved a little bit of drama. You know?
Yeah, well, that's what we're saying. Yeah.
That used to be part of the game. Conor the ref, South Americans will say that. Like, it's one of them, like...
The dark arts, yeah.
It's just one of them, like, you just wanted to bring in these things, promising us that things and, like, you know, we'll make the game fairer. You slow the game down dramatically with this bullshit, and you're just still getting it. Like, it just makes you question, you know what I mean? How many other calls, like how many other offsides has they said that, oh yeah, that's offside, and it's like sometimes I've seen very it's very weird, like how they can just it seems like the guy up the box can just pick a frame that he wants the ref to see, and it's like. So now you've got 3 people up there who could have an agenda or whatever, and they send an image to the ref down to just view this image, and it's just like technology is bullshit, man. It's just biased bullshit, like, you know.
Look, if we're gonna do technology, we're gonna need. I know this sounds like nerdy talk now, but we need artificial intelligence because we need something like they'll program it right, like whatever it is, like could be a robot.
So in the World Cup offsides, they've got it's automatic.
A computer doing it. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah,
but it just and the Premier League
no bias.
So off that year, they rejected it. Said no, we don't want
it. See, that's what I'm saying.
Why don't you want
it? I wonder why you don't want it.
Because so you can't issue statements. The fucking. Sorry. I
don't know what's worse, the reffing team or United this season with the statements FC.
We've lost 2 leagues to Manchester City by 1 point. Right, we're just robbed of 2 points. Come the end of the season, that could be the difference, and we could
100%,
something or make the top 4 again over 2 points that will rob that. They said, "Oh, sorry," like.
No, 100%. It's and we know how tight the Premier League is. Like 2 points dropped, or 3 points dropped is a big thing. You know what I mean? Like, especially now these days, especially from the battles that we'd had even last season against Arsenal, like a draw can mean even worse than a loss. You know what I mean? So
how many points are on offer over the whole season?
I think so if you win all games, which is I think it's 100 and I believe it's 110, 100. I can't remember, some bullshit like that. So,
and we were getting 97.
No, plus 90 is easy.
Yeah,
90 plus.
When you think of that, it's
very small margin for error. That's what I'm trying to say. And then when you're not doing it and the refs are doing it, that's what makes it worse. You know what I mean? It's it's not even our competence; it's the refs' competence that are ruining it for us. You know what I mean? But
just even with a couple of weeks ago, Van Dijk gets a red card. Fair enough, right? Mm-hmm. Then he gets another match ban for dissenting referee. I literally see every single player week in, week out, look at the linesman, look at the ref, go, fuck off.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck off, fuck off. And it's we see it on live TV all the time, man. They're saying Van Dijk's the only one who's deserved the fucking ban for it in the last, 6 months. It's fuck.
Yeah, nah. Look, at the end of the day, man, honestly.
Yeah. I think before this season, 170 games, 3 red cards.
Yeah.
This season, 6 games, 4 red cards.
Fucking hell. No, look, honestly, I feel like you know what? This is what the problem is, and this is how you can tell it's a problem. The headlines shouldn't be about the refs at the end of the week when we watch Premier League. We shouldn't have the trending thing shouldn't be
the Kardashians, the pricks.
What's that? Yeah, exactly. They want to be trending more than the Kardashians.
They want the headlines.
They froth off the attention. But no, that's how it seems, honestly, because that shouldn't be bro, it seems like every week we talk about, there's mad games going on every week, whatever, but then for some reason, the most trending conversation, I'm not saying it every week, but you get what I mean? It's something to do with the refs. There's some sort of controversy, blah, 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 every week. And that shouldn't be the case. That's when that's a problem, because we shouldn't have refs being the trending number one talk about football every week. That's fucked up, especially the Premier League. We should be talking about, look, big upsets, or, this team did this week, or look at the great game this week, or look at what this player did, not, hey, the ref fucked up 3 times in a game again, or the ref forgot to draw a line again, or the ref fell asleep again, or the ref didn't want to upset his friends and co-workers again. Shit like that. It's you know what I mean? Yeah, fuck that. We don't need to know that. But no, look, it's honestly, look, banter aside, of course I was yeah, look, I want Liverpool to lose, especially because if you were going to win, you're going to get on top of us. You know what I mean? I was God damn.
Yeah.
But look, for the integrity of the game, I'll be fair. That was bullshit. You know what I mean? That was not a fair, if I seen that as a City fan, I would have been fuck it. I would have been doing what you did now. I'd be we're doing this fucking pod. I got to get shit off my chest. I need a therapy session now. You know what I mean? Because, and it like we said, it ruins the integrity. And then now this week, like you said, it's not even like your team has let you down. Because like you said, they did. It's actually funny. Like you actually played so much better with 9 men, which was so like Spurs couldn't get past you. Like when it was 11-11, Spurs were like cutting through you, no problem, or whatever. When it was 9 men, 10 men, Spurs were like, how do I play football? Like Angel thought he was playing rugby again. You know what I mean? Like it was so weird. But no, honestly, it did ruin the game, and I honestly thought like this can't happen anymore. And you know what's fucked as well? You think, okay, when they have like a big blunder like they've done this week, you'd think, okay, now they're gonna step up. Now they're gonna pull their head out of the, you know what I mean? They're not gonna want to cap this backlash. You know what I mean? And then they go and do something stupid again next week. Look, it's getting to the point. Look, I don't. Yeah, look, I don't condone violence or whatever, and God forbid this happens. But it's going to get to a point where it's going to get ugly. Do you know what I mean? Like something's going to happen to. Like remember at the what's the World Cup or the Euro or something when the Italians started attacking that English ref? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It was the Spaniard. You know, I think it was the World Cup, right? Like it got red hot. Like they were like attacking that bold English ref that was at the World Cup. I can't remember what group it was. But anyway, it's going to get to a point where it's going to get like that. We're going to like people are going to start, you know, like abusing refs and scaring them, and you know it's going to get all toxic. And I don't want it to get to that. But it honestly, what else can the match going fan like, bro? Imagine this: you're a fan. You paid like, you know, you've worked hard all week. You know, you copped your missus is in your kids in your other year. You know what I mean? You want to go to the game on the weekend. You want to chill out with the boys. You want to watch the game.
5 hours to London.
Yeah, it's 5 hours London on the tube. You know what I mean? With the lads, you're ready to go. And then the refs, not the boys, not the other team, ruin the game for you. And then you go back. And yeah, exactly. So you know what I mean? It's one of those. It's like you can't win, and it gets to a point where it's like, when is it going to get ugly? You know what I mean? And we don't want it to get to that point. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. It's a bit of a rough one for sure.
Fair enough. I know Jacob was saying today, I'll just take the L. I think before he'd even seen any of the highlights or something, he's like, take the L. And nah, man. Like fuck off. Straight up. Nah. Like,
my man's used to it now. I was telling him, I'm like,
didn't beat us, bro. They did not whatsoever beat Liverpool. Like like I said, if it was 11v11, we would have beat them at their own ground. I promise you that, 100% beat them. Like we would have come in. Yeah, they might have had an okay first half, but you've seen what we've done every single second half this season, and that's come out twice as strong as we were in the first half. And I could almost guarantee we would have done that, you know.
You know what? I reckon it ruined the game as well, because I think if you like, I know you weren't on the pod, but me and Sol were talking about how hyped we actually are for this game. Where we were saying like how excited because it's a big game. Every time Liverpool Tottenham play, it's a really exciting game. You know what I mean? It's always high scoring, and it's ruined. It ruined it.
It's got a bit
more,
what I mean? Like importance to it at the moment,
and especially exactly. It's got more this game.
So I was interested. I was like, to be honest, I know how we play and stuff, but I was kind of interested to see Tottenham firsthand against us and see like how much they have improved other ends, because I've seen them every year before. We've been able to beat them no matter what, really. If they were playing a bit better or we were in a slump, we just always seem to be able to get them.
Yeah, 100%.
Obviously, this game, there's nothing else we could have done. We scored a goal. 2 red cards. We had to score an goal for them. Because,
Well, that's what I'm saying. The game was actually good when it was 11v11.
Now, because I'm going to have to wait another 6 months. And just see.
Who knows? Maybe you'll get him in the FA Cup or something. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But no, look. At the end of the day, that was. Yeah, look, like I was saying, the game was actually good when it was 11v11. That's what I was saying. It ruined the game. It ruined the atmosphere. It ruined the whole vibe of the game because we didn't get that classic. Because it was looking like it. Like you saw it. It was open at the start. It was back and forth. Yous were breaking because they were playing that high line. And, you know what I mean? Yous were like, oh, beautiful. We'll just freaking count the fuck out of you with Salah and all Diaz and that. It was like that's what I'm saying. It was shaping up to be a great game, and then the calls happened, and then just boom. And even then, when the calls happened, it was still an exciting game. But then, it started getting more bullshit and bullshit and bullshit, and then like to the point where you were just like even as a rival fan, you can see it.
The game was still exciting even after all the calls that happened, but it's still just like, from a Liverpool's perspective. It's just very disappointing to see that many, ridiculous calls go against you and not a single call go against the other team at all in any shape, way, or manner, or anything. Like even, even questionable fouls that should have been given before some of these players even got their red cards, like I don't, I just want to start getting into all the things officiating, but I believe of like Curtis Jones even red card, there was a foul on someone else like seconds before it, and then if that foul's blown and he doesn't go in and that ball doesn't happen in the first so it's like a mistake that's led to another mistake that's led to friggin' 3 people up in the box going to the ref, I'll come look at this, and then selecting one bias's shit image and one angle for him to look at it where you only see one part, and it's just like,
you know what, I don't get?
Anyone, you need to watch. You need to watch the actual tackle and the actual game, the tackle, how it happened, the angles they show you first off, and then the ref's angles that they give him down in the box, and you're like,
bro, you know what I was actually just thinking now? I should just come up to my head. Why is so we're, as you know, we're from Australia. If the accent didn't give it away, we have rugby league here, and one of the things, I actually don't care for the sport, but one of the things they actually do very well, and they've been doing it for years, for a long time now. They've had video refs implemented into the game for a very long time, but they do it well. Because they have 2 guys on the record, so they have the video mics recording. Mike, sorry, so you can hear what he's saying, and the ref's mic as well. And they both discuss and go play by play on the issue or whatever that happens in the game, right?
Everyone in the crowd can hear.
Yeah, everyone, and so you can't buckle, you can't think. So, for example, let's say if there's an offside or whatever,
that offside goal last night, they would have just said,
I don't know. Yeah. See,
I don't care what anyone says. I'm still not convinced that's even really truly what happened. So, you know what I mean? To say, we just had a break in communication and we were too gutless to stop a ball that had been the ball could have just left his foot and he could have said, no, stop, ref, that's a goal. What are you doing? That's onside, it's a goal. But no, you can't. We've got to work by the rules here. But don't work by the rules, then give the onside fucking goal, because that's a fucking game changer moment. We go 1-0 up against Tottenham with 10 men. But we're in a good shape because we can sit back then, and then we can just start going forward. Then we're not chasing the game. You know what I mean?
And you've done that formula before against Newcastle.
We bring Nunes on. They were dangerous with 10 men sitting back because you pull your men forward. We've got players that have, some of the fastest.
Yeah. 100%. It could have been suited to you because, like you said, you have done that formula. You did do that just recently, so you have a bit of experience in that scenario. Just again, it was against Newcastle, blah blah blah. But
who else did we do? Who else we got a red card against?
Bournemouth.
So
Bournemouth, wasn't it? McAllister, but that one got overturned, didn't it?
Yeah. So again, another mistake. You know what I mean? You have to play the game with
10 men. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's your new tactic because you seem to play better with 10 men. I don't know what it is. I think that might be Klopp's new tactic.
It's just they've got more fight in them because they feel like obviously when they can see it, they're down there on the pitch, they know it's not a red card. They're like, man, he's like, you know what I mean? Everyone around it would have seen that Curtis Jones was Curtis Jones was genuinely shocked to even get a yellow for it. It was yellow, and then
you know what? That's what I'm saying. Even the initial tackle from just normal viewing, it didn't look bad. It just looked like 2 players collide with each other. Do you get what I mean? It was oh, okay, I've seen that. Yeah, okay, maybe a free kick max. That's it, right? Because Curtis Jones stopped the player running or whatever. That's all it looked like. Then all of a sudden, I think he was like walking away, and then like they started pausing the game. You know what I mean? They're like, no, wait. And then I think like you said, it was just like I said, the on-rule decision was yellow card, and then they decide, let's switch it to a red for some reason. But look, I don't know. It's been a shocking week, honestly. Like, and it hasn't even finished yet. We've still got another 2 games, I believe, before the weekends. I mean, not important games, mid-table teams versing each other, like Chelsea and... Oh, actually, Fulham's a big team. We'll show some respect to them. Yeah, props to Villa as well. Yeah, they went off as well. Everyone thought...
Robbed.
What's that, sorry?
Brighton were probably robbed somehow, some way.
I don't know. I watched a bit of that game, like, because it was like the early game. It was like the first game.
I just heard the defense was in shambles.
Oh, it was, man. It was a Watkins masterclass. He was playing like Midland all of a sudden in his glory days. But yeah, no, look, there has, again, we should have been talking about that. We should have been like, wow, look at Villa. Look how they once, you know what I mean? Instead of, look what happened with the refs.
I still think come the end of the season, if anyone's going to really challenge you for it, it will be us anyway. Even based off what, like I said, we've played half the games with freaking 10 men, and we're still looking better than most other teams in there.
Well, your surprising factor this season is your midfield. I'm so impressed with your midfield this season. We were brushing up on last night's episode, yesterday's episode, how like your midfield just come out of nowhere and surprised everyone. Like, remember at the start when we were both supposed to do the pod? Remember you were like, I don't want to do this because you didn't get Caicedo, blah, 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 all this stuff. And then now look at him, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, I reckon, like, if you keep that midfield fit, and maybe even bolster it even more, just in general, just have some backup, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, I feel like you can go a long way in a lot of competitions as well, because they're a boss midfield, man. Like Sloboslai, he's fucking mad. Like, you know what he's doing. McAllister, he's like fitting in perfectly now. He's playing like this new sort of like, kind of like a 6-ish role, kind of like a Hendo role, you know what I mean? But more attacking a little bit, you know what I mean? And he's got more, like, no disrespect to Hendo, but he's got more ball. He's more of a baller in him, you know what I mean?
More graceful.
Yeah. Yeah, like, honestly, if you just get a solid defensive midfielder now, then there's some uncomfortable questions. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, McAllister's playing there at the moment, but if you can get him further up and then have, like, an actual solid CDM.
It needs to get further up.
Yeah, 100%. But look, at the end of the day, it's been a rough week. You know what I mean? Like, we did, like I said, look, banter aside, you did cop a L. It was a bad L from the refs. You know what I mean? Like, the refs really did use dirty on that one. Like I said, I was actually more disappointed in the fact that I didn't get to see a good game. You know what I mean? Yes, it was controversy. It was crazy, blah, blah, whatever. But for the wrong reasons. Do you know what I mean? I wanted it to be the right reasons. Like that last season's game, that 4-3 game, that was sick. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't care about the result. I just thought it was, it was like a mad game. Yeah, for a neutral, 4-3, fucking sick. You know what I mean? And it was looking like that until the bullshit happened. You know what I mean? And that was what, as a football fan, that's what pissed me off. And I guess for a lot of people as well. You know what I mean? For the rivalry thing, sick.
I've seen lots of people come out and comment, and it's actually one of the very few times as a Liverpool fan I've actually felt like a bit of support from
the whole world. Yeah, everyone's come together.
Everyone I've spoken to has been like, bro, that was ridiculous. Eh?
Yeah. Look, we've got to be fair. At the end of the day, I can banter you like, L, suck shit, you know what I mean? And again, like I'm saying to you, like for my Man City part, the goggle side, I'm like, yes, that's great that you didn't win that game.
One thing I feel like I may have copped a bit more shit from both of you had it as both not copped L's on the same week.
Oh, 100%. No, honestly, you know what we were thinking? We were thinking like, please, if Tottenham don't win, we're not going on this pod. I'm sick. Soul's sick. Yeah. Because oh my God, you would have went crazy. Especially both of us losing as well. Oh my God. But nah, look, at the end of the day, like there's not much you can do unless you want to chase down the refs like those Spanish people did or the Italians. But we don't want to get to that. look, bro, we just ask for competence. We know there's human error. We get there's human error. We get that. But at the end of the day, we just ask for a bit of consistency. It's not too hard. If my fucking 60-year-old father that can't speak barely a word of English can get those calls right, please, I'm pretty sure the refs in the Premier League can get those calls right. Bro can't even see properly he has to fucking watch TV like this. You know what I mean? And he can get those calls right. You know what I mean? And these guys can't even get them calls right. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's not fair.
That's just what makes me like. I sit there and I say like, fuck. It's obvious to me there must be fucking some form of fucking bullshit agenda. Like, I just can't. Or either that.
That's why we need AI. We need AI. We need something that's not gonna.
Did like we not pay our FA bill last year or something? Like,
One of the refs' wives said something to Klopp, and Klopp retaliated back, and now they're all pissed off at Liverpool or something. Like that's what's happened. Yeah, there could be like what I mean. There could be agendas like that. You know what I mean? You don't even know. Like that's what the fuck. Because humans are humans at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like I know for a fact, you came to my finals. You know what I mean? Like my bro, that ref had the biggest agenda against us, and because why we were talking shit on him, we weren't fair. We were like giving him shit, whatever, blah blah. And of course he's gonna go again. He's human at the end of the day. I will do the same thing. If these cunts are giving me shit all game, I'm like, man, I'm gonna get an agenda on you because I'm human. I'm not perfect, and these cunts aren't perfect as well. You know what I mean? That's why I feel like, again, I know we don't want to go this iRobot world, but if we're gonna make things fair, we need stuff like human. And you still have a human controlling it, but more more fairness. Because again, if you have a programmed AI that's the most fairest in the world, it's not gonna and even if it does fucks up, you can fix it. Blah blah blah. You can fix up whatever. If it has you see if it does a mistake, you can fix the program. Whatever. Blah blah blah. That's why we need stuff like that. And honestly, it's getting to a point where we're gonna have to because it's gonna get to a point where, God forbid, something will happen, and then some ref will see it. We're gonna hear in news rather than refs fucking cop that got his head kicked in or fucking fucking I'm actually.
I've said this for years, man. They can just consistently over any level of football make critical errors. Sunday League football all the way up to the Premier League and just be protected over it. But yeah, everyone else who's on that field, if they make a mistake or something like that, you see a red card, you get banned for a few games.
If you retaliate, you're banned forever, blah, 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 yeah.
It's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I don't know. I get it. You know what I mean? You got to protect them at the end of the day. They are... there is ref isn't a great job to be doing, you know what I mean? But be competent. Be competent with your job, bro, if I made as much mistakes as the rest did at my job, brother, I can tell you right now, holy shit, I'd be on the fucking first employment line like this with my, stick and handkerchief. You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, these guys, they just...
no job in the world lets you do this much mistakes and get away with it, like you just said. You know what I mean?
We're deep sorry. We'll be in contact.
Yeah, it's fun.
What does that do?
No, and again, now, bro, they go back to their houses all fine, dandy. You know what I mean? No problem. And now. You know what I mean? Like you said, those traveling Liverpool fans, that's their whole week ruined. Liverpool fans in general, that's all their week ruined. You know what I mean? But those refs, I think those 5 refs that made the
majority of supporters will in a way, I think it will fire us up a lot. I feel like everyone's, seen everyone, the 9 players, even the 10 players that were on there, they laid everything down for the shirt. And, they showed us that they're ready to truly fight like dogs for the jersey. Something that, at this point in time, you could say a team like United, they've taught their fans that's all they want. They just want a team that will fight. every week in, week out for the jersey, and they don't have it. I think Liverpool this year, last year we didn't have it. We might have had it, but we just didn't have the quality at all. Like I feel like some of the aging players were losing a bit of, drive, and we seem to have replaced that now. Got a team that's ready to fight. So, I don't think there's any real upset Liverpool supporters with the team. I don't feel none of us are like, oh, Spurs are actually beat us. We're all just like, we're robbed. Enjoy your little moments, Spurs. I'm sure you will taste defeat soon.
Yeah, they can't go. They can't go.
You're not going to go on with the Premier League. That's all I can tell you. Don't get too excited. Don't make too much of an embarrassment of yourselves, like the other mob did pretty close to you.
Yeah, not like that other North London mob, eh?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God. Must be a London thing, eh?
But yeah, it's just disappointing. I think we're all just. But yeah, as a Liverpool fan base, I think that could even spur us on even more now.
Well, I was actually going to say this could maybe cause, and I hope it doesn't actually, but this might make a siege mentality happen, like similar to what happened to us last season with the Chargers. Like Pep came out, instead of going like, ooh, boo-hoo, siege mentality, right? And look what happened, and our players went, let's fucking go. And I think after that, we didn't lose a game till like against Brentford until the end of the season. So that could happen. Klopp can go like, all right, boys, look what happened today. We're fucked up. Ref did us dirty. We can either go cry about it and, boo-hoo about it, which we're allowed to, or we can go, fuck this. It's us against the Premier League now. You know what I mean? Like, it's us against them. You know what I mean? And if he builds that sort of mentality, scary times, all I can say. Because nothing motivates a team saying us against yous. Do you know what I mean? Like that, like siege mentality is like one of the biggest things you can have as a team. And like, especially now, like you said, it wasn't like yous lost the game. The rest made yous lose that game. You know what I mean? But look, we can go on back and forth about what happened. But look, we know nothing's going to change at the end of the day. Again, this was more of the therapy session, more for you to let your chest out. Like I said, and
feel a bit better.
I'm glad you do. This is what the pod is here for, and this is what the free lads are here for. Get some shit off your chest. You know what I mean? But look, I'll be fair. It was a bit of a bullshit call. Again, as a football fan, we don't want to see that in our game, because again, it might happen to you now, but then maybe down the track it could happen to us or United or God knows what. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, we can go laugh at that right now, but at the end of the day, as a football thing, that could easily have happened to us. Easy it happened to anyone else. Do you know what I mean? So we have to fix this problem now before it starts happening on the regular. But again, when
everyone else first.
What's that? Sorry.
So let it happen to everyone else first, and then.
Well, you know what I mean. Like like I said, there's been some bullshit calls already. Like again, our City game, our game, we had a bullshit call happen. I'm not saying that's what made us lose. Like it wasn't like your game where it was like it was 3 big crucial calls. Sorry. Again, if this call had happened, the dynamic of the game would have changed, because it would have been 10 men Wolves against a full squad City at 1-1. Do you know what I mean? So. You told me the story afterwards. And then the person that scores the goal for them is the person that stayed on the field. You know what I mean? They should have been off. So, again, it's a bit of bullshit. I can't fix that. I know it's like I'm just going to cop the L. And we move on, you know what I mean? All I can say is now, hopefully, this, rejuvenate us against Arsenal. Because I can't remember the last time Pep lost, 3 games in a row. You know what I mean? Like I think the last time he did something like that was, I think, when he first came into City. He lost I think he had he hadn't won a game in 3 or 4 games. I can't remember, something like that. So
lost motivation.
Yeah. What's that? Sorry.
How many games do you reckon it would take Pep to lose before he was sacked? How many consecutive games do you reckon he has in the bank?
Never. He has so much credit in the bank. The man's a billionaire. You know what I mean? Especially for our club.
They're going to give you.
Bro, you don't understand.
Every game
straight and he'd be in charge the next season.
Bro, I can tell you right now, if he got us relegated, City fans, like especially the old heads, would be like, well done, Pep. He'll give him another year. I swear, I'm not lying, bro. We used to worship people like Stuart Pearce. Bro, I remember I was like, Kevin Keegan is the best manager we've ever had in my whole life. You know what I mean? Shit like that. So for Pep to, yeah, he has too much credit. Don't worry, he's more than fine. But no, like, jokes aside, obviously, I feel like if Pep did that himself, he would retire football if he had gone for a mad losing streak. Because he's a perfectionist, you know what I mean? So he'd be like, I'm never doing this again. Fuck this. But no, look, you know, at the end of the day, I can't take that man for granted. He's our generation, one of the best we've ever seen, you know what I mean, manager-wise. So I'm just happy that he does it at our club, you know what I mean? And please continue more some, you know? But, yeah, like, at the end of the day, we move on. All I can say is, like, I'm just looking forward to the Arsenal game now because I was a bit worried about that game, but now I'm like, oh, we're going to come out pissed off because, yeah, we shouldn't have lost to Wolves. Like, especially, I don't think we're going to lose 2 games in a row now. That's for sure. If we do, then fuck. Holy shit. Uncomfortable questions to be asked. But for now, we'll see what happens. There's not much to say besides, you know.
See, if you do, that would be especially annoying for someone like myself with the Spurs game because I couldn't actually be, you know, maybe could have potentially been like 5 or 6 points ahead.
Well, you would have. No, so if you won that game last night, you would have been a point ahead. I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah, sure. So if you let's say if we lost Arsenal again, and then you win the next week, 4 points ahead already. After like our amazing start to the season, like that would have been okay. Yeah,
for City, that would have been
100%.
And like an amazing start, and we're still 4 points behind.
And then lose 3 games in a row like that. Like that would have been rough, 100%. And then, like you said, and then we would have seen news just keep going up and up and up. We're like, oh, here we go. It's one of those seasons. But look, it still can be. It's still early. It's still early. You know what I mean? Like now, yes, I know you've lost, whatever, blah blah blah. But
I'm glad this year I'm able to talk about, you know, my team actually being able to do something.
100%.
Play good. So exciting times ahead. Even though I'm very, very annoyed I never got to witness the game that everyone wanted to watch last night.
No, look, it's one of those. It's one of those that you know, I'd rather you'd rather this happen, right? You'd never want this to happen, but it's good that it's happened now than towards the end of the season. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, imagine if it was you're neck and neck with City, like you said, it's a point difference, and it's like the second last game of the season, and that happens. You'd never watch football again, right? Huh?
That'll probably still happen.
Yeah. Well, look, if they continue the way they are, it could possibly be like that. And that's what the scary thing is. We don't want it to be like that because, bro, all these millions, billions of dollars invested into this league and you can't get refereeing right. But then, you know, stuff like NRL in Australian football that gets like 10 people watching it a week and stuff, like their viewership's worse than everything. They've perfected video refereing. NFL, like the American football and that, they got a bit of like it's not the best, but it still works, right? Like they got it, like they all every other sport seems to have video refereeing or they seem to work with technology, right? Like technology's benefited the sport, right? Not football, like you know, soccer. It hasn't. It's made it worse.
The thing is, in some countries and some other leagues, it has. It's just like Dave even said, it just seems to be like an English problem.
Well,
mainly.
Australia A-League, we use like VAR and all that, and we have like we use it similar how we use it in NRL, right? We got like video refs, and they talk to each other in that. And apparently in the A-League, it's really good. Like I haven't watched A-League in a while, right? But apparently like the refereeing decision when it comes to like VAR and that, they never get shit wrong. There's never like a controversy or whatever, blah blah. It's
because everything's for people to hear right there and then. And for the players to question them there and then, but it's like you said, like, you know, when they can just talk quietly between themselves and pretend to get things wrong, and then just issue.
I don't want to hurt my mates. I don't want to hurt my mates' feelings. You know, stuff like that.
The end result is someone had to send an email saying sorry, and that's the punishment for destroying a game. That millions of people are watching. That, you know, the clubs. Like, think of how much the clubs are playing each week. Like, you know,
That's what I'm saying. All this money.
The wages going at stake for these players to win top prizes, and then the ref can just come along, make horrendous calls, ruin the game, and then at the end, the punishment is someone sending an email
saying, "We're sorry."
Sorry. Human.
Yeah. No. Look again. You know what? I'm all for iRobots. You know what I mean? Bring in Will Smith. Bring in the movie.
The refs. Fuck yous. Get your shit together. Joe wins it out. Fucking dogs.
All right. Well, with that, we leave it at that. As you can see, my man is very, very upset. But look, folks, this was more of a rant, just to get some stuff off our chest. Red Devil Soul was not here. He had some stuff to do, but he will be back for the next episode. He has a lot of things to say about his club as well, as you could imagine. But look, it's been a great episode. We might do more of these, like rant reaction videos in the future. Hopefully, we don't want to be controversy, but if there's stuff like this happens, we might do some, just reactionary videos just to see like what our reaction was, like, raw reaction was from it instead of, a few days afterwards or whatever. But yeah, look, I've been your host, who does the most. I will say bye for Joey 6 times as well, because, he's not here at the moment. I don't know what he's doing. He's probably raging somewhere. But until next time, my friends, peace in the Middle East.